law and facts. I'm just suggesting that you may have a better clarification exactly what you're saying under the citizen participation part. Pertinent slanderous remarks towards city officials, staff, or other members of the public, other boisterous, disorderly, or disruptive behavior during a commission meeting are not permitted. It goes on from there. I'm just saying, at some point in time, there may be an issue there. Is this under your citizen participation law, or is it just the rule that you've established? Or what is it? Or is it just a public warning comment?
Thank you.
I'd like to further on that agenda that he's talking about there. Just so you guys know, I don't have to voice who I am. I have a Fourth Amendment right that actually gives me security in my person, property, houses, and effects. So if I don't want to say who I am, I do not have to, and you cannot force that. I'm just letting you guys know that there are laws that supersede your codes, your ordinances, your rules, and regulations. And you guys might want to consider that. You guys might want to consider that who you work for is me. We the people. We're the boss. And I'm saying this as the last time Gail Doney actually was 2 meetings ago. Gail Doney rebuked Ed Butcher, and she was out of line. If you guys read your own agenda meetings right here, it says commission meetings are not, disruptive behavior is not permitted. I'm sorry, if you people don't like this, you people are public servants, you work for the people. If you don't like it, get out of politics. I have a right, my constitutional First Amendment right to say what I want, and as my dad just read right here, you might want to read the Montana Constitution, which trumps any of your ordinances, your codes, your rules, your regulations. You might want to read that. It says freedom of speech. No law shall be passed impairing the freedom of speech or expression, period. Every person shall be free to speak whatever he will on any subject he wants. Read it for yourself. So I'm just saying, if things get heated up and get contentious in here, and you guys try and do what Gail Doney did to somebody else, good luck, because if you do, you're going to be held personally liable. You might want to read this too. 18 U.S.C. section 242 says, whoever under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, look it up, or laws of the United States, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. So I'm just saying this is a rebuke to you people. You people need to remember who you work for. You work for we the people. We the people are the boss. So I'm just letting you know. So if people get out of hand and people want to start swearing, that's their right. Bring it on. Try and stop them. You might be held personally liable for it.
Thank you.
Can I speak on that real quick?
I think at this time we'll just listen to public comment.
Right.
We have a commissioner's minute. Are there any public comments? All right. We'll move on to the consent agenda with review and acknowledgement of the claims. Does anyone have any questions on claims?
I move to approve the claims posted from 5/1/26 to 5/15/26 as presented.
No second.
There's been a motion and a second. Motion from Commissioner Robertson and a second from Commissioner Hewitt. This is the vote that we raise our right hand, right?
Correct. Just a second here. I didn't hear Tim, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear him. What was your motion?
Motion was to approve the claims from 5/1/26 to 5/15/26 as presented.
Okay, gotcha. So now we need to do the votes. You get to raise your hand. Commissioner Bowser. Is this for?
So I think for this vote, we usually show a
Oh,
hand.
you show of hands?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, show
All
of
those
hands.
in favor?
All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to the regular agenda with item number 1. Discussion and action on awarding the East Fork North lease up to 3 years. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yeah, so we have property at East Fork. We have 3 different leases that you'll hear about tonight that are up for lease. The north is north of the dam, and so you can see the last page is kind of the downstream of the dam itself. We received 2 proposals or bids for leasing this property. The first one is from Brooks Zabel. Again, this property does have guidelines as far as how many animals can be ran on it, things like that. And then the second one is from Levi King. You can see those bid amounts. Both of these would be used as pasture. And as Commissioner Bueller said, this is a 3-year lease with the option of an additional 3 years after that. Again, we have provisions in there that if the bidder is not responsible, that we can work with them to either correct the deficiencies or revoke their lease.
I move that we accept the bid from Brooke Zibble, for the property, the East Fork North property.
A second. We have a motion on the table with a second. Discussion?
At least 2 bids for the same.
Yes.
Yep, that is both, the ones that are stapled are both for that same piece of property, yep.
Any further discussion? Questions and comments from the public? Questions or comments from the commission?
Is this land that we have to own?
It's land we do own, and was really part of that flood control project done in the 70s for that.
The dams are, but not all this land around it.
The land was acquired for the dams, yeah.
So we didn't acquire any land around, do we have any land out at Burley's?
Burley's is actually privately owned. We operate the dam. Same with Casino Creek. It is actually owned by Fergus County, the property itself, and then we just run the dam.
Is Hanson different?
Hanson is the land.
My point of those questions are, we're looking for housing everywhere, and we have all this land around these 2 properties that we're leasing, the Hanson Dam one and this one. So sometime, I don't think right now is a good time, but in the future, I think we should think about selling them, but not right now.
to own it due to the water regulation with the dam?
I would believe that depending on how that was acquired, you know, we can't just dispose of parkland or things like that.
It's land from the fish factory all the way up past Hanson Dam, it's a lot of land. And I don't know why we can't get that on the tax roll. I mean, I can see right below the dam, no one's gonna buy that. Just a thought.
All right, we do have the motion on the table. I think we can do a roll call vote.
Okay, so the motion was presented by Commissioner Hewitt to accept the bid from Brooke Zeibel for the East Fork North lease. Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Aye.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Approved.
Item number 2, discussion and action on awarding the East Fork South lease for up to 3 years. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so this is south of the dam. It is a larger parcel. You can see much of that is creek and swampy. So there are just 3 little tracks that can be paved. This is strictly for the production of hay. In the write-up, while we do put a minimum of $1,000 per year or a price per ton, whichever is higher, you can see that we received 2 bids on this. The Williams Family Farms, their proposal is fairly unique. They propose basically being good stewards of the land and investing in treating the weeds and improving the production of the land, which they say will take longer. So they're proposing a minimum of a 6-year lease with a chance to auto-renew for another 4. The reason for this is to justify the seed and chemical weed treatment that would then result in better quality hay crops. And so if indeed we went with it and ended the lease after 10 years or after 6 years, they're asking that the lease, that the city buy them out for the remaining 4 years. And so their proposal is for $1,425 per year. Again, going up to the full 6 years. The second proposal is Levi King. Levi, again, would hay the property, do some fence fixes. Doesn't really say anything much about the weeds. But his proposal is for $1,500 per year for 3 years.
Do either of these, are these the current leases?
This property, we did not lease it last year, so it was not, in neither one of these would have had it the last year that we leased it. But they're both adjacent property owners.
So Levi did have something on the weeds on the very end of his taking care of the weeds.
But he doesn't specify if he is
Yeah.
That's the
treating
question
that
I have.
or not.
It doesn't say if we're supposed to do that or who's gonna do that.
It is the responsibility of the leasing, but it's vague in that.
Can we make it less vague? Make this lease contingent upon leasee's responsibility to treat the weeds and fix the fence?
The commission can absolutely do that. And then if he doesn't want to do it, we can move to the next.
And the first one states that they will take care of these.
Correct. That whole proposal is really building up the property so that it is an asset and can be in good production.
But if it's less than 6 years, they don't want it then.
If it's really less than 10, it doesn't pencil, right?
Yeah, they had us bowling out if it was less than 10.
and we can sell it afterwards.
Question, so the first one from Williams Family Farms, I'm like, this is not a judgment of either of them, but it's a conditional bid. And municipalities, government bodies have different policies on conditional bids, because they're not apples to apples anymore. So is this allowed for them to do a commit? Can we accept a conditional bid in this case or not? I don't know if we even can.
We honestly can, reject any and all bids for any reason, so I
We
mean,
can reject them, but can we accept a conditional bid? I'm putting you on the spot, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't,
I think
just
you would
don't
be
understand.
hard pressed to, reject Levi King's proposal unless you guys, again, want to make sure that it's addressing the weeds, the need for weed abatement.
And who determines the weed abatement? I mean, does somebody drive out there?
Yeah, it's definitely something that can be monitored. In the past, we would utilize the weed district at the county to do spraying.
Is there a motion?
I move to accept the bid from the Williams Family Farms, LLC. And it is the East Fork South. With all of the changes that they have asked for.
Not hearing a second.
I have a question on that first bid.
Just a second, we're in the middle, and then you can have that. At this point, the motion dies with no second. We want to hear another motion at this time? Can we do a multiple motion?
Let's see. I motion that we conditionally approve Levi King's, as long as he's willing to do the fence and the weed abatement.
Second.
There's a second. We have a motion and a second, a motion from Commissioner Warren and a second from Commissioner Robertson. Now I'll open up to discussion and comment. Is there discussion with the commission?
I just point out, Diane, I'm concerned with the Williams Family bid just because it's a lower dollar amount and a longer time, and it's conditional, so that concerns me, because there are quite a few conditions, so that's why I couldn't support it. But I do want to see that Mr. King properly followed weed abatement and fence fixes.
Questions and comments from the public? Yes?
The bid that you're currently looking at, does it have in the contract responsibility for weed abatement? And is there an escape clause in case they don't use it?
Currently, there is a way to navigate away from a bid. There is also a part of our motion that the individual will have to maintain a weed-free workforce.
And we have provisions in place to, basically, if they're not fulfilling the lease, they're given time to correct it, and if not, we move away after.
You did say that there are provisions for weed abatement, fence maintenance.
There is,
All right. Take a roll call vote. Roll call vote. Whew, that one's hard.
All right, Commissioner Warren, moved to accept the bid from Levi King conditionally to make sure he repairs the fence and provides weed abatement for the East Fork South lease. Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Aye.
And Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
All right, moving on to item number 3, discussion and action on awarding the East 4th East lease for up to 3 years. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so this is east of Red Hill Road, is this little section. This section does not have water or anything like that. And so you will see that the minimum bid on this, section is $600. We did receive 2 bids on this one as well. The first one from Levi King for $800 a year. And you can see, again, he's an adjacent property owner, so he's familiar with that and has water on his other property, so they would use this parcel to rotate livestock. Again, fencing, keeping the fence that's already existing in good condition, and then weed control. And so, again, we can follow up and make sure that he understands that application of weed control chemicals is his responsibility. The second one is from Gary Barta, who has previously leased this property. His bid amount is $650 a year. And again, he would utilize that to rotate his livestock in as well. Again, acknowledging that the weed spraying and fencing is their responsibility.
I'm just kind of concerned with, Levi King's where it says weed control is a long process.
Yeah.
So he has an understanding it's gotta be taken care of though.
It doesn't say who,
I hope,
like who's
Yeah.
gonna do that. And I'm concerned about that, because this one, it almost sounds more like fencing is an easy remedy,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Which it sounds a little more like he wants to do that.
Well, it is
Property requires
currently
fencing,
fenced,
fences.
so.
It's, Mr. Barton's proposal is certainly much more clear in regard to maintenance, weeds, and fencing,
Number of animals.
and number of animals.
That's specific to it. So, in the last cycle, we worked with the Conservation District, to develop those, animal equivalents. And so, we do work with all of them to make sure that those are followed.
I make a motion to extend the lease to Gary Barta for $650 a year.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second. Discussion?
I think it would be interesting to see how different people maintain that property over the next few years.
Yes, 3 different owners. Questions or comments from the public?
I'd like to make a comment. I guess you guys are talking about weed abatement here. I think it's kind of hypocritical. I mean, if you guys are thinking that you're gonna go out there and tell somebody to spray their weeds and do something with their weeds, when right down here, right by Garfield School, just wait, it's not up yet, but the knapweed and the leafy spurge down there is unreal. You guys are gonna try and tell somebody else how to fight their weeds, but you guys don't even do it right here in town? You might wanna consider that.
Thank you.
Also, I know you talked about animals per unit on those, so there's gotta be something in place if they overgraze it, I'm assuming.
That's one of those provisions that then they would have to either rectify it, or the lease would cease.
And I think Gary said that he was gonna put two to four animals on there.
Any more questions from the commission? All All right, let's take a roll call vote.
The motion is to accept the bid from Gary Barta for $650 per year. Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Nay.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
All right, moving on to item number 4. Discussion and action on approving resolution number 4222, a resolution of the City of Lewistown, Montana, adopting the bylaws of the Lewistown Tax Increment Advisory Committee. City Manager Holly Phelps.
So this is something we've discussed several times, the recent legislative changes to the tax increment financing board / what is now the Tax Increment Financing Advisory Committee. We have passed and reappointed members to that board. This board recommended approval of their bylaws. You can see, again, I'm referring to the state statute that gives them the power, also the recent legislative changes that basically added a member that is appointed by the school district and by the county commissioners to serve on the board. They have, which under state law cannot have fewer than 5 voting members. They allow up to 7. And then, their terms are also in state law. Staggered terms, again, how their meetings are advertised, what constitutes a quorum, the composition of their board, the chair, vice chair, regular meetings, just really laying out their day-to-day procedural components. When they meet, things like that. This, again, is administered by Snowy Mountain Development.
I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve resolution 4222, resolution adopting the bylaws of the Lewistown Tax Increment Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Robertson and seconded by Commissioner Hewitt. Discussion. So I just wanted to confirm really quickly, this is with the addition of the school district, a member of the school board, and a member from the county commission, or a county entity?
Appointee from the county.
Thank you. All right, is there any discussion? Questions or comments from the public? Questions from the commission?
Just a comment that this bylaw said it'd be no fewer than 5, but an odd number. And it's always difficult finding people interested in a position on this board, although I've been on there for a while. It's an interesting board. I would encourage any of you to consider it, or the public to consider it, if they're interested in learning more about TIF workings and TED workings here in Lewistown.
Thank you. All right, let's do a roll call vote.
The motion is to approve resolution 4222, a resolution of the City of Lewistown, Montana, adopting the bylaws for the Lewistown Tax Increment Advisory Committee. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Yeah. Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
And Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Item number 5, discussion and action on approving resolution number 4223, a resolution approving an application from Washington Square Condos for TIF funds made to Lewistown Tax Increment Advisory Committee, City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so at the last, TIF TED board, they had received this application from the Washington Square condos. They had previously had a tree removed that caused some sidewalk damage. They requested the board, partner with them to replace a small section of concrete that was lifted due to the roots of the tree. And their original proposal actually showed stump removal, but due to contractor availability, that has already been done. And so they amended their ask to just 50% of the concrete repair. And so the TIF board did approve up to $925 for that.
I would entertain a motion.
Is it common to repair sidewalk through using TIF funds?
Public infrastructure, so it is a great use of TIF funds.
Okay.
I move that we pass resolution 4223, resolution approving an application from Washington Square Condos for TIF funds.
Second.
There's a motion on the table that has been seconded. Discussion. Okay, why can't I find the address? Thank you.
I really like how the TIF and TED board work. I like how they approve it and then they bring it to us to approve it. You know, like Tim was saying earlier, or Commissioner Roberts was saying earlier, that, I mean, that thing that we're talking about there has to come before us twice. That's the way it should be. Elected officials should be making these decisions. And I hope we can get all our boards to be, you know, like this, you know, where they have to come to us to get stuff done.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
We're talking about number 5, right?
Yes.
Okay. Am I missing something? It says resolution 4223. At the backside, it says resolution number 4226.
You are not missing something. That is a, edit that we need to make. Good eyes.
This is the agenda, but the motion is for 223.
So the motion is for 223.
This is just a guy.
Jump ahead. We went to the future. Any more public question or comments? Questions or comments from the commission? Wonderful. All right, let's do a roll call vote.
Okay, the motion is to approve an application, excuse me. Commissioner Warren moved to approve an application from Washington Square Condos, resolution 4223. Bowser, Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Aye.
And Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 6, discussion and action on appointing Allison Monier, is that how we say that? Okay, to the Lewistown Tax Increment Finance Advisory Committee. City Manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so Allison is a commercial loan officer at Stockman Bank. She is interested in serving on the TIF TED board. Again, she serves on other community boards such as the Small Lender Board, and would be a great addition. to the TIF board as we kind of look forward to the TIF loans and things like that. There is really a need for some of those folks to have a strong banking background. The TIF board did recommend approving Allison as the 7th board member.
I'll move to approve Allison Minor for the TIF board.
I'll second.
A motion and a second on the table. Discussion.
I'd say I've known Allison for many years through Rotary and through her banking experience, and I think she's well qualified for this board.
I do have one question. Do we know if this was publicly posted? Is this a publicly posted position?
I believe it was publicly posted, that's my understanding.
It is administered through the TIF. So that is all through SMBC.
I believe it was posted because we didn't for a while, we didn't nominate someone because it needed to be posted.
I'd also like to state that I very much appreciate an application showing both interest and skill that will be applicable to the board.
And this application hangs out on our city website all the time. So if you know people, you just go to the I want to and find the application there.
Right, discussion, more discussion? Comments from the public, questions? Questions and comments from the commission? All right, we're going to do another roll call vote.
Ask a question first. Did you say to the TIF head?
It's the Lewistown tax increment and tax economic development.
Okay, that's.
It's TIF tax,
Okay,
it's both.
The advisory committee.
okay, thank you. So Commissioner Robertson made a motion to approve Allison Onier to the TIF TED Lewistown Tax Increment Finance Advisory Committee. Who seconded that?
Commissioner Hewitt.
Okay. Commissioner Bowser?
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller?
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver?
Aye.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right. Item number 7, update on the timeline process of the Planning Commission implementation.
So you have a pile of information that is been provided. In that, you will find some information that Commissioner Warren presented, where he asked questions about consolidating or eliminating boards to serve as our planning commission. Again, we will have to pass a resolution to dissolve any of the boards that we consolidate, and that can be done as soon as they're in place, because there are statutory guidelines that require certain applications to be handled within certain timelines. And you can see that on the back side. A bit of history, there's the timelines there where the city and the county entered into an interlocal agreement at the end of 2025 that really laid out the consolidation of the City County Planning Board and the Board of Adjustments to become our planning commission. It also points out the fact that the board will have to, the existing boards will have to be dissolved. How the composition is, the City County Planning Board would become part of it. The planning or the Board of Adjustments would be part of it as well. 4 members from each, the city and the county, with that odd man out being the board of, from the board, the conservation board, or the county conservation board. Since that time, we've appointed our 4 members, the county has appointed their 4 members, and we've got confirmation that the Conservation District also appointed their member. We are in the process of meeting with Fergus County, the planning office there, to come up with draft bylaws that we can present to the existing city county planning board. And could invite, if we choose to continue moving forward with the bylaw development, we'd invite those couple of board members from the Board of Adjustments to attend that meeting. The City County Planning Board regularly meets the third Thursday of each month at 5:30 p.m. here, and so that is kind of the anticipated first meeting of the City County Planning Board and the Planning Commission. If they move forward with draft bylaws, those would be presented to the commission. Could be as quickly as the first meeting in July for your approval, and the Board of Adjustments and City County Planning Board could be disbanded just after that.
Thanks for that review. Are there questions?
I'm just wondering if we want to look at doing something else to disband them sooner, to just have the only group that has more authority than we do gone. Because you can, under the replacing functions, local government officials such as city commissioners can take over the duties of the Board of Adjustments. So
you're saying disband them and we'll do it?
disband them now and we do it until it's done, until July, sounds like. I know it's extra work, but.
Make a motion.
All right.
At this time, can we take an action? I'm just asking about procedure. If there is no action identified on the agenda.
That's up to you guys. It is, again, not advisable to do that. And I would also bring your attention to, it is advised to have the new planning commission in place prior to disbanding those boards, just because of those very specific deadlines.
What would the benefit be of disbanding right now?
Well,
Keep them from,
keep them from doing what they just did.
yeah.
Have it so that we have the final say, like we've been voted in to do.
Are we in a point of discussion at this point?
We're in discussion, yes.
I don't see how that's gonna miss. That addresses or speaks to a comment I had about what is the planning, long-term planning commission, the next planning, what's the formal name, I want to use the correct
The
term.
planning commission.
The planning commission. Are we gonna change city code and this entire city operation so that all decisions of all nature go through this commission? Because right now, the city code for the last 100 years has not been that way necessarily. So that's a fundamental, significant change to the operation of the city of Lewistown at its deepest level. And I think it bears some serious discussion about, do we want to start over again, is what you're saying, is we're not going to use boards and commissions in the same way, and we're not going to follow state law with this planning commission. We're just going to go our own route, which I don't even know if we can legally do that with the new planning commission where we're at, I don't know. But I don't think it's as simple as we want to have a say, let's wipe out a board and take over. We probably, possibly we can, I don't know. I didn't read what you're reading. But do you wanna go there with such a big spike at the city of Lewistown and how it's run?
Especially when the planning commission comes into place, there is more of a check built in that, again, the appeal would come to the commission. So the process is in place.
But most of these other boards are advisory boards. This is the only one that's not an advisory board. This one makes decisions, the Board of Adjustments. Aren't the other boards advisory and then we
They're
make the
advisory,
decisions?
this is the
I
only.
mean, I'm
one.
asking the question, I don't know.
The Board of Adjustments is quasi judicial, so,
Yeah,
and when a court tells you that that's the law, that's the law.
Mhm.
However, I'll make a motion right now. I move to authorize the city attorney to file a petition in the district court seeking judicial review of the Board of Adjustments decision regarding the 40 complex apartment on Spring Street on the grounds that the decision was made illegally. Without the criteria that it shouldn't even be brought before them. They didn't have all the criteria.
Read that again.
Can you read your motion
Read
again?
your motion again.
I move to authorize our city attorney to file a petition in the district court seeking judicial review of the Board of Adjustments decision regarding, on the grounds that the decision was illegally made.
I'll second it.
There is a motion and a second.
And the reason I bring this up to you guys is this puts us back where we're supposed to be, working for the people of Lewistown, our constituents. And I think it shows us that, I don't know if, I haven't did a straw poll or anything, but I don't know if one person agrees with it, but we can also look at, if we keep reading over and over again, these appeal board of the powers to that Board of Adjustments, I can see, and I think I can find an attorney, and I think I can find a judge to see it the way I'm seeing it, that they shouldn't have been, they never had a chance to, they shouldn't have been looking at that anyhow. There was nothing that variance, if they wouldn't have voted on that variance, the developer or the landowner would not have been harmed. They,
So you're identifying grievance, is that what you're talking about? The concept of grievance?
The Board of Adjustment shall fix reasonable time in hearing, I'm sorry, I might have copied the wrong thing. But I was talking about the part that, and I'm not talking about any parking or heights or anything, there's a couple things involved with this. They weren't supposed to use precedents. Every variance is a new case, is how I understand it, what I've read. And that the hardship that they were trying to prove would happen to the landowner, there is no hardship. That land is not weird shaped, it didn't deserve a variance.
But it is zoned for a number of units.
It is zoned in R3.
In the state.
Then they have to design a building that fits that, in their space. In their space, no certain setback, no height, no, they don't deserve a variance there. We don't do variances so they can build, we do variance to protect the neighbors.
With this motion, is the city incurring the cost of putting an appeal to the district court?
We will.
Well, and again, are you wanting to file appeal on the board's decision? And you have to be an aggrieved party to do that.
We are an aggrieved party. Once again, another arbitrary thing, who knows if we're an aggrieved party or not.
So we could is there a motion in the court, or is there an action in the court at this point?
Not to my knowledge.
not yet.
So I'm just curious, does your motion say make an action with the court? I gonna sue somebody who, if they make an action?
No, just a review, a judicial review, take a judicial review of the Board of Adjustments.
Okay, they are.
I wish we had a city attorney for one, I don't know, I did put the city attorney in there, because obviously he would be the one to help us with this. If he has the knowledge and everything, I don't know him that well. He's only been here a few times, but it's something I think we should pursue. When does he come off vacation or paternity leave?
He's on family medical, he'll be back at the end of the month, but we do have a land use attorney.
Oh, that's who we want to use. is the
Again,
land.
if you will share that information and to basically provide some guidance on what the process would look like, I can definitely reach out to him and he can give us his legal opinion. And again, if you guys want to move forward with something like that, I don't know what that process would look like, but typically it's not the courts that would do a judicial review on the efficacy of the Board of Adjustments.
It would be though, the district court is where it goes next.
Damages, I mean, it's for damages. It's a civil suit.
Well, we could file it, find out if the judge will, the court will even review it. The court may reject it and say, not my role,
Yep.
not appropriate.
All right, the group that is against the building of the complex, they have evidently hired an attorney, and they are going to go to court, and
I think it'd be more if it came from us.
well, this is several people.
And or we
And it
could
won't
join
be-
their lawsuit.
No, they're, no.
You guys, to me, it's our responsibility to get this right. I don't think there's a person on this board that doesn't think the Board of Adjustments was right. You know, and it's our responsibility to set it right. If that causes, you know, us to spend money legally on attorneys and stuff, we have to get it right. And then I also like Travin's idea, or Commissioner Warren's idea of banning them just to ban them. Or disbanding or whatever.
The homeowners as a group are filing a suit.
As an aggrieved party,
Yes.
yes.
I did not get to attend the meeting, and, I should have.
I don't, you know,
Did you go to the meeting?
no, and I've heard rumors about them doing that, and that's what I hear, rumors.
It is.
I'm standing up here as a county or a city commissioner, telling you what we should do as a city commissioner. I'm suggesting what we would like to do, I would like to see as a city commissioner. I would like to see us bring it up and say it was wrong, and we need to get it fixed. You know, so my mother is just authorize the city attorney to ask for it, or the land use, if we have a land use attorney on call or whatever we do.
Well, and are you wanting the courts to provide judicial review, or are you filing suit? I mean, those are two different actions.
Judicial review. To see, 'cause I really don't think this should have been a variance that went to the Board of Adjustments. Unfortunately, I grabbed the wrong part of the law, the 76-226, but
Right, there is a motion on the table in a second to direct the city attorney or land use attorney to file a document with court to have a judicial review of the Board of Adjustments' final decision after the appeal. or is it?
Right now, let's,
So like a
you know, when
final
I first,
decision, a big
when I first thought about something like this, I said, as a commission, we should just overturn it. Just say, nope, the Board of Adjustment was wrong, but I got dug into that, you know, I cannot, for the life of me, any scholar, I've talked to professors, they can't understand how a committee that we appointed can rule, no one can understand that, but that is, that is a law, I studied it. But if that whole variance, those 3 variances weren't supposed to be in front of them in the first place, then they shouldn't have been.
So it's not a review of the appeal, it's the review of the process
Yes.
that
From the
gave
very-
that decision to the Board of Adjustments.
Yes.
So I will say that again for all of us. There's a motion on the table to have our legal counsel review the decision or process that allowed the variance to go to the Board of Adjustments and have that reviewed in district court.
What they said, they, meaning the board, they said, we need the housing. That was their reasoning for not
For voting for.
I
Right.
So the motion is on the table, there is a second. Is there public questions or comments?
I would like to make a comment, I agree 100% with Mr. Shaver. I mean, like I said, how is an unelected, unaccountable board riding the will of the people? That doesn't work. There needs to be rule of law, they are subject. You guys only have governance because of the consent of us, we the government. And when you're delegating your authority that we give to you to an unelected, unaccountable board, that's flat out unconstitutional and it's flat out wrong. I agree 100% with Mr. Shaver.
Thank you. Any other public comment or question?
Agreed.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Commissioners, questions and comments?
Have a formal reading, a formal
No
language for
idea
the
what you
reading
guys are
Good
saying.
notes.
for it? Do we have a formal wording for the motion?
Because I've heard so many different ones. Would you say it again?
Sandy did a great job summarizing.
The motion on the table is for city legal counsel to prepare a filing for the district court to review that examines the process that allows the Board of Adjustments to make a decision on that variance, on the variance associated with the Spring Street apartments. Variances, there's 2.
To make, what did you make, what? You said
Can you read
process,
where you were? Process to make the decision on the variance is
okay.
for the Spring Street apartments.
And hopefully the court will understand, we want the review to start at the beginning all the way through to their decision.
at this meeting that I missed, they also, the contractor has to put in writing in the surrounding, in the parking area.
Additional exterior lighting.
Yes. And they don't know if he will agree to that or not. That could possibly throw everything in the sewer.
All right. Can you please read the motion?
Sure. There's a motion on the table for the city legal counsel to prepare a filing for the district court to examine the process that allowed the Board of Adjustments to make decisions on variances on the Spring Street Apartments.
Looking to you, Commissioner Shaver, does that represent your motion?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
I'm going to say nay, and I want to tell you why. Because they have hired an attorney. They, meaning the people in the surrounding area that this affects. And he came forth to them and volunteered to do this and to take the case on. So I'm going to say no.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
And Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Motion passed.
We'll move on to citizens' requests. Yes?
My name's Stephen Hamilton, I live at 1016 West Broadway, and I just had a couple of questions. One of them was, I know you guys have the council agenda on the website. You guys also have the council packets available online for people before, or a listserv that people can sign up for, that can get those automatically emailed?
If you ask, if you provide an email to the city clerk, we can definitely email it out. We've had issues in the past of people hacking that and then
Oh, okay.
using that information in the packet to deceive applicants.
Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, I've lived in Lewistown for a few years now. Previously with places I've lived on, places where I've lived is, I've been in you guys' seats, and they're challenging seats, and they're oftentimes thankless seats. And a lot of people aren't willing to do the work that you guys are willing to do. So I just want to say thank you for your willingness to do that.
Any more citizen requests?
I have one, just to finish off, leave you guys off with another note. The Constitution, it's kind of funny, it's here we are, we're celebrating, everybody's getting all excited about celebrating our 250th anniversary of this republic, of the freedom of this republic. I just want to leave you guys with this right here. This is from the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitled them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, and this is where you need to listen, and I challenge you to go home and read this, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. And then skipping down just another paragraph. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. I challenge you guys to keep that in mind as you guys are public servants and you work to serve the people. Government is instituted to serve the master, which is we the people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Commissioner's Minute. Commissioner Bowser.
This is kind of a personal thing. Saturday, I go on the trail and I noticed that we have a pair of nesting sandhill cranes. And just before I left home, there's foxes up there.
Oh, no.
So I just want to encourage people to be cognizant when they walk their dogs, that there are, you know, wildlife there, there's horses there and stuff, but if they're feeling comfortable enough to come right outside my yard, I would hope people would maybe put their dog on a leash maybe, or make sure that they're not chasing them off, because it looked pretty cool, like I was living out in the country again. That's it.
Wonderful. Commissioner Shaver, and thank you for your patience.
No, sure. I'd like to, first of all, is it Jason? I can't read your name. Jason. I think, I just wanna, we ask people to give their name and their addresses, because we do work for the people. And if we don't know you're from Lewistown, I think that's just a little check we do that, if someone stands up and says, I'm Joe Blow from Billings, I don't want to, I'm too busy for that stuff. I don't need to hear it. So that's, I think it's just a courtesy of why we have people, because I used to come to these meetings way before I was a commissioner, and I didn't understand it either. But now I think I do. It's, the people are, I don't know if they're our masters, I don't like that word, of course, but we do work for them, and I think it's courtesy when we ask you to give your name and address to make sure you're live in the city here. So that, and as far as the city attorney thing and looking at the Board of Adjustments I'm of the view of I'd rather have the landowner sue us than the people of Lewistown suing us. And I think that's where it's heading, they have an attorney and everything. I don't know who else they can't, that's just it, the Board of Adjustments can't be sued. We're the city of Lewistown is the only one that's gonna be sued. And I'd rather be sued by the landowner up there than the citizens of our own community. So that's kind of why I bring this up, to get ahead of it, because it was done wrong. So, Ron Roots told me I always say one thing good. And how about the weather?
Not good. Commissioner Robertson,
Nothing to add.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Nothing.
Commissioner Warren,
The only thing that I had, somebody was emailing about wishing that we would do more code enforcement in Ward 1 because of parking issues.
Parking.
So.
Okay.
That's it.
I just want to say thank you. I don't usually sit in this seat, so I have to practice saying the words roll call quite a bit more. So thank you for your patience with me tonight. And the meeting is adjourned.